Today, we will be reading Jimmy Quits Smoking, written and read by Tamara McNeely, Jay Thomas, Bria Brown, Amber Gardner, Haley Holdren, and Nautica Payne.
Here lies Jimmy, a 21-year-old young adult enjoying his youth. Jimmy is a full-time college student and lives on campus. After becoming acquainted with his dorm mates, he began a weekly partying binge. Jimmy was constantly offered cigarettes or a vaping pen at the campus parties. At first, Jimmy declined, but the pressure to be cool consumed him. Not wanting to be an outsider at the parties, he began smoking and vaping socially. His social smoking influenced his behavior change of smoking daily. Jimmy often finds himself smoking more than 12 cigarette sticks a day. With his smoking habit, Jimmy noticed a change in how he feels. He noticed he was stressed with coursework or everyday life. He would resort to smoking to make things better. He also noticed his spending habits had changed. With an increase on cigarettes, Jimmy would spend at least $18 a week on cigarettes.
Jimmy has thought about his smoking habits and has become aware of all of the problems that smoking has caused to him and his health. He's realized that smoking is bad for him and that he needs to quit. In order to quit, Jimmy needs to think about what he needs to do to be successful in not smoking, and also what actions are necessary to ensure that he does quit smoking. So Jimmy starts by thinking, what would it entail for him to quit? He begins to consider the options that he has. Some of those options would include reducing the amount of daily cigarettes that he smokes a day. So Jimmy typically smokes 12 cigarettes a day. So one of those actions that he would like to take, let's reduce that daily smoking number to 12, from 12 to 9 or 6 maybe. Let's reduce that number of cigarettes that you're smoking a day. Another action would definitely be finding a different activity or a hobby to fill that void of smoking. If that's chewing gum or drawing or painting or singing a song or, finding something to supplement that behavior at that particular time when he feels the urge to smoke. Another option or another action that he would definitely want to implement would be to set a date when he would like to stop and to be sure that he stops on that specific date. That will give him a window of how long he needs to implement those actions and those behaviors, and at that particular time, when he will be he will stop smoking on that day and be sure that those actions were implemented. Another option would definitely be to nicotine replacement theory. If that's the Nicorette gum, the patch, nasal spray, inhalator, those are some definite actions that he can take as well to ensure that he's successful and not smoking.
After taking the time out to think about everything and think about all the pros and cons of smoking, Jimmy now decided that it was time for him to prepare to quit his old smoking habits. The first step was to set an attainable goal for himself. So he said that in 6 months from now, he would be cigarette free. What a wonderful thought. Although Jimmy is pretty confident in meeting this goal in 6 months, he's still worried that the things in his homes could trigger him. So it would be needed for him to remove all of his smoking equipment, like ashtrays or cigarettes or just anything that might trigger him within his home. Jimmy also was very worried about the peer pressure that had gotten him started into his bad smoking habits. He would always go to a lot of social occasions, so he told himself that he wouldn't go to as many as he did before because he knows that it's not good for him. Jimmy now wanted to focus on his health and make sure that he gets healthy and that he stays in a healthy state. Another way Jimmy wanted to focus on his health is by making an appointment with the dentist. This would also make him feel better about himself and give him that confidence to overcome his struggles. He wanted his teeth to be clean so that he could help himself stay motivated to keep them clean by not smoking, as smoking can cause a lot of health issues. After thinking about all the many steps that he can take to overcome his smoking habits and to quit smoking altogether, Jimmy felt very prepared.
Jimmy woke up on November 1st, the day of his dentist appointment, and most importantly, the first day without a cigarette. He got rid of all of his ashtrays and cigarettes, and he went to the store and bought a lot of gum. He feels ready and excited, but also nervous. At the dentist, he ended up needing a deep cleaning, and he didn't want to have to do that again. Jimmy spent the next few weeks struggling with quitting. He didn't know this was going to be so difficult. He has cravings for the nicotine, especially in the mornings. He realized that the gum wasn't enough, so he thought back and decided that maybe cutting down instead of just quitting would be better. So he has one in the morning, and the rest of the day he chews gum. Jimmy has gone out to campus parties a few times and is usually able to say no to the cigarettes offered, but he has slipped up a few times. The smell was too much to handle. But it was just one every so often, and Jimmy figured that is better than what he was smoking. Even though he hasn't quit, he has cut down a lot.
At first, Jimmy was having a hard time keeping to his regimen of 1 cigarette a day, combined with nicotine gum, to help with his cravings. He ended up getting an appointment with his doctor and talked to him about how he has tried to stop smoking, but the temptation to smoke and crave nicotine is still there. His doctor then suggested Wellbutrin, which is often used for people who are trying to quit smoking. As the past couple months went by, he noticed his cravings became less and less. He also cut down partying and only goes out occasionally. He has gotten to where he doesn't even like the smell of people smoking and finally threw away all of his smelly ashtrays. He also found a new route to take home that avoids the tobacco store, which has helped him tremendously because then he doesn't have the temptation to stop. He has noticed the fact that he has officially tried to quit smoking and craving nicotine. He has felt a lot healthier and has noticed himself doing more physical activities such as playing kickball and basketball with his friends. He has even started jogging on the weekends when it's pretty outside, which is something that he has never done. He has started meal prepping in his free time for the week ahead because having steady meals throughout the days of the week has helped him refocus on what his true goals are of being healthy. He would crave less and have way more energy to spend time being active and hanging out with his friends. He also has a lot more spending money, which he enjoys to get out and do things. Before, he wasn't able to go out because he would have to budget his money or not have enough money to go out and hang out with his friends. Limiting his nicotine intake has changed him and his lifestyle for the better, and he has felt great improvement from this. He even has a strong support group of friends and family cheering him on to quit for good, as well as started advocating his friends to quit their bad habits too, since they still do it. He will continue to shoot for his goal and maintain his new strategies, which have benefited him in the best way possible.
So it has now been 2 years since Jimmy has quit smoking. He has completely stopped. He can now hang out in areas with people who smoke without feeling the urge to smoke. He no longer feels that tobacco is a problem for him. He no longer takes Wellbutrin. He has also returned to his normal route to work since it's quicker and has no urge to stop at tobacco stores along that route. He still does physical activities including kickball and basketball with his friends, and sometimes jogging on the weekends when it feels nice outside. He sometimes goes to AA meetings to check in and to keep motivated on his non-smoking journey. After removing the triggers, his journey of smoking cessation has come to an end, and he is no longer a smoker. He knows how much he has grown and accomplished over the years. He is proud to not only have helped himself, but he has been able to help his friends and family. This isn't the end of Jimmy's story, it's the beginning of a new chapter in his life, where he is in control and he is happier and healthier than ever. The end.
Overall, cigarette smoking among adults in the U.S. aged above 18 years has declined, yet nearly 38 million American adults smoke cigarettes every day or some days, according to the CDC.gov. The largest increase in quitting smoking was among adults aged 25 to 44 years old. Smoking leads to disease and disability and harms nearly every organ system of the body. Smoking is the leading cause of preventable diseases. Smoking is associated with asthma, Buerger's disease, which affects the blood flow to the arms and legs, cancers, COPD, diabetes, gum disease and tooth loss, heart disease and stroke, depression and anxiety, vision loss and blindness, according to the disease and conditions featured in complain.cdc.gov. Worldwide, tobacco use causes more than 7 million deaths per year. If the pattern of smoking all over the globe doesn't change, more than 8 million people a year will die from diseases related to tobacco use by 2030. Cigarette smoking is responsible for more than 480,000 deaths per year in the United States, including more than 41,000 deaths resulting from secondhand smoke exposure. This is about 1 in 5 deaths annually, or 1,300 deaths every day. If smoking continues at the current rate among the U.S. youth, 5.6 million of today's Americans younger than 18 years of age are expected to die prematurely from a smoking-related illness. This represents about 1 in every 13 Americans aged 17 years or older who are alive today. Each day, about 2,000 people younger than 18 years smoke their first cigarette. Each day, over 300 people younger than 18 years become daily cigarette smokers, according to cdc.gov.